Roadmap for getting a job abroad. This is one of the most asked questions to me in my DMs and in the comment section, and that's the reason I'm making this video. And especially when you come from a construction background or from architecture background or interior background, it becomes even more difficult for us to get hired directly from our home country. In this video, I'll cover why these countries or these companies don't hire us directly, why it is difficult for us to get jobs abroad and specifically in our industry. Second point that I will cover is what are the pathways in which you can increase your probability of getting a job abroad. Third, I will be talking about what I did to get a job here in Canada, what was my pathway, my perspective, and what I have learned as a senior BIM coordinator here, that how the job market and job industry overall flows in these countries. So this video will be a very helpful and insightful video. If you have 10 minutes of your life to dedicate to this video, I'm sure it will definitely help you a lot. And guys, before starting this video, I would like to request you to please go ahead, support this channel and subscribe to my channel, because without your support, I can't do this. I can't sit on a weekend over here and dedicate my entire weekend for you to solve your doubts and to create a better future for you. So please go ahead, support this channel, like this video and subscribe. And without any delays, let's get started with the video, guys. So let's talk about point number one, why these companies usually don't hire abroad. What are the restrictions? What are the issues they face? So the first issue that they face is the time zone. If you are planning to get into Western countries like US, Canada, or even in Europe, the time difference becomes a major issue, because in India we have a separate time zone, and especially for countries like Canada, it is totally opposite. The time difference is around 12 hours. That means when we are ending our work, probably a person in India would be starting their work. Or even worse, when I was back in India, I used to work at around 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. So it was totally opposite. First issue is this, that it becomes really difficult to manage an employee who is there in a separate country. It becomes difficult for them to connect with them, give them tasks, give them issues to resolve. It becomes really difficult. I have worked with my colleagues who were sitting back in Dubai, and even if they were in Dubai, it was a task for us, because I used to do something and I used to give them comments, I used to send emails, and they used to reply to those emails by around 3 a.m. or 2 a.m. at night. And when I used to start, it was night time for them already. So we used to make a calculative decision like, okay, at around 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. we will come and we will talk to you and we will resolve these issues. So first issue is this. Second issue is the security issue, because these bigger companies usually work with government and on government critical projects. For example, hospitals, for example, airport, or prisons that I am working on. All of these are highly sensitive projects, and they don't want their data to be going out of the country. They don't even allow me to work remotely from my home because I'm working on a sensitive prison. And this is the second part. Third part is the labor law, the payment systems. All of these things changes. If a company hires you, they are bound to give you all the benefits that an employee in that specific country is having. So that means they will be going to, they will have to actually pay you according to whatever law permits them. They can't pay you lower than the minimum wage, because you can stand up and file a case in a court in Canada against the company. So this becomes even more complicated for the company. That's why usually companies have their branches in India or in Sri Lanka or in Dubai, and they hire people in Dubai, and Dubai people are working for a project which is there in United States or in Canada. So this is how they function. So we need to understand it's not your fault if they are not accepting your application. It's not your competency issue that they are not hiring you. It is just the law and the complication that comes with a person that is abroad. Now let's go ahead and talk about point number two. That is how you can develop yourself to get a job abroad. So the industry abroad usually functions on a reference or referral basis. First, you need to find out which are the companies, which are the international firms that are working in your region, in your country. Okay, for example, you are in India. Just go ahead and look which are the international firms currently working in India on projects that are in India. Okay, don't think further away, just think local first. Like companies like ACOM, Foster's and Partner, then Edifice. All of these companies are international, usually based in US, and now they have branches in India. So your first target should be to get into these firms, because having a name of a firm like Gansler, for example, if you're working as an architect or a civil engineer in Gansler, it will give you a reputation. It will say that, okay, the Gansler in India trusted this guy. So Gansler in probably Dubai or in United States will go ahead and trust you, because they can cross-reference, they can ask people in India that how was this employee? Is he trustworthy? Is he good? Is he competent? And then they will get your report. So your first target should be to get in touch with the people who are already working in these firms in your own country and try to get into these companies. Try to develop portfolios based on the software that these people are using and mention these softwares, these skills in your resume. Try to connect with these people who are in this company and send them your resume. Ask them, can you please help me review my resume? What all software should I put? What all software should I function with? And what all software does Gansler or Foster's and Partners are using? Once you do this, you can develop your portfolio based around the software that these companies are using and around the project these companies are doing. And once you do this, once you have connections in these companies, you can ask for some referrals. You can ask that, hey man, I just saw this job and this is my resume. As I have already connected with you before, I have these skills, I have this experience. Would it be possible for you to refer me? So once you develop that kind of trust where a person who is already an employee can refer you, that becomes your entry pass. And once you enter the industry or the company, you can try looking for jobs or job postings that are abroad. But again, you will need to understand that a visa or a work permit is usually required, because as you all know, countries like United States, Australia, Canada are suffering from labor and suffering from less employment, where the original people who were here are raising their voices against the immigrants, which is really bad because they need us, but it is also their right. It is their right to protest against immigration. So you need to understand the world is a bit difficult right now. It will be a bit difficult for next 5-6 years. But yeah, this is the general pathway that you can go ahead and take to get a possibility of getting a job abroad. You can also look for jobs in Dubai or in UAE somewhere, because these countries, the work permit is even more easier. But countries like Canada, US, all of these countries, it becomes a bit difficult. Now coming to point number 3, how did I get my job here in Canada? So I took a different pathway. This pathway was expensive, time consuming, because I took the pathway of education. I did my 2 courses here in Canada, because at that time, during the COVID lockdown time, even if you did a 1 year course here in Canada, you will get a 3 years of work permit. So I did first course, that was BIM Lifecycle Management. Second course was Green Architecture. Then I got my LEED certification, and still I didn't get job. Yes, you are right guys, I didn't get job because I didn't have any experience in this country. Imagine, after studying here, after getting all the certifications, doing everything, I was jobless for 6 months. Not jobless, I was just doing part-time job in a security company and in a restaurant. So that was my life for 6 months. Just imagine, a well-trained architect with 4 years of experience back home, 4-5 years of experience back home, still unable to find job. It was very frustrating for me, but eventually by connects, by contacts, by developing contacts, by getting in touch with people who were already working in the industry, I got some references, and they referred me to a firm, and finally I got job after 7.5 months. So that was my story, and since then I haven't looked back, and since then I didn't face any problem in getting any kind of jobs. Because once you get an experience here in this country, you understand the market, you understand the people, you understand the work culture, the job culture over here, and once you do that, you have cracked it. You can get any job. So that was my way. And if it's possible for you, and if you can afford it, I would say it's always good to go ahead and do your masters or get some degree abroad which will give you a work permit. Even if it's for 1 year, you can definitely try that. You do a 1 year course, get 1 year of work permit, and just try your luck, try getting a job over there. And once you do, you can extend your work permit, you can extend your conditional work permits. So these are the things that becomes very critical. And as a person from construction industry, guys, it is one of the most difficult industries to get a job abroad because of all the compliances issues, licenses, and all of those things. Even the architecture license that we get in India has zero value abroad, because the architecture process here is very different, very strict, and architecture as an industry is a very highly regulated industry. Even engineering, they take everything very seriously. So you need to understand that it is a very difficult task to get a job directly abroad. You will need to take step-by-step ways by getting a job in an international firm in India, then trying to get hired into the same company elsewhere around the world where the work permit scenario is a bit easy, and then you can go ahead. Or else just do what I did, do a course abroad, take 1 year of work permit, and move ahead in life. I know it sounds expensive, it sounds difficult, but this is one of the best ways to go abroad. And guys, if you like this video, if you liked what I'm sharing with you, please go ahead, hit a like and subscribe to my channel, because again, without your support, I can't do this. So yeah, support the channel and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.